Well, greetings, everybody. Welcome to another exciting presentation by your favorite speaker, Dr. Ronald J. Brown. Our topic for today is really a fascinating story of Consuelo Vanderbilt, the most famous dollar princess of New York City. Well, the dollar princesses, I'm sure you don't really know what that means. Well, that's what you're going to find out today. A chapter in the Gilded Age following the Civil War in the United States, where women played a major role. We think of the tycoons, Commodore Vanderbilt, but the women Vanderbilts were just as important in defining an age. So our outline, tragic life of Consuelo Vanderbilt. That should be an O. The Gilded Age, Fifth Avenue, the royal ceiling that existed, Cash for Coronets, Edith Wharton's Buccaneers, the end of an age, and this American fascination with aristocrats. So, let us get started in exploring the wonderful world of Consuela Vanderbilt. Well, lately in the news, and not so much in the news, but on TV and in the big cinemas, The Gilded Age, an HBO original, has really been highlighting the Gilded Age and the role of the women. Whether it's Consuela Vanderbilt, who you see on the right, or if it is Mrs. Astor on the left. Well, the third season really depicts the tragic life of Consuela Vanderbilt. The story is two people, Gladys Russell and Bertha and George, three people. One is head over heels in love with a well-to-do young man in New York. Well, the mother was convinced that her daughter would not marry an American, no matter how wealthy, but she was going to send her daughter to England to intermarry with English aristocrats so that her daughter could come back and she wouldn't be just another Mrs. on Fifth Avenue, but she could be a duchess or a princess or who knows what else. Well, Vogue magazine came out not too long ago with another presentation of the fascinating life, the real life miserable marriage of Consuelo Vanderbilt that inspired the Gilded Age. These this was an age of marriages of convenience. You married not so much out of love. You married to keep the money in the family, make an alliance with another family. So the wealthy families of Fifth Avenue were very much like European aristocrats. It was a question of money. It was a question of pedigree. How far back did your family go? You never married down unless it was for pure love. You married up and you lived your life accordingly. Well, this is the family of the Vanderbilts. Commodore Vanderbilt was an old New Yorker, Dutch ancestry, going back to the earliest years of New York City. We see Commodore, who made his fortune in the shipping business and later railroads. They kept the name in the family. We see Cornelius Vanderbilt II. We see going down the chart Gloria Vanderbilt, who died not too long ago. We see Consuelo Vanderbilt Costin, who I guess is still alive. And this is the pedigree of a good family. Well, Consuela's father was William Kissam Vanderbilt of prestigious Vanderbilt lineage. Her mother was Alva Erskine Smith. Well, she was a Southern belle, and she ruled the roost. And she had come up after the Civil War and intermarried with the Vanderbilts and was really one of these Southern belles who was convinced she ran the world. Her mother dominated her. In fact, Consuelo, in her autobiography and various biographies written about her, said that she was required to wear a steel rod so that her spine would be perfectly straight. She was educated at home by governesses and tutors. Her mother whipped her with a riding crop for minor infractions and told her at one time, I do the thinking, you do as you are told. So this is the terrible life of Consuela and her mother, Alva Vanderbilt. She was educated at home, and one of her very important teachers was Mary Minnie Stevens Paget, or known as Lady Paget. In Europe, from 1853 to 1872, Miss Lady Paget had her school as a tutor. And Minnie Paget was more than just a tutor shaping young American heiresses. She also was adept at linking up wealthy young American heiresses with barons and dukes in Europe who had a title, who had a broken down, falling apart castle, but they had no money. So she really organized this transatlantic marriage bureau. She held lavish balls and magnificent weddings. Here we see the St. Thomas Church on Fifth Avenue, where we see her actually getting married. It was very important that the marriage, her marriage to a European English duke, would be held in New York to show that now she had passed the gap from being a Miss Vanderbilt to being a duchess. And so here we see some of the drawings of the wedding, November 6, 1895. The marriage was held at Old St. Thomas Episcopal Church. This is